Hello, here's my audience. All right. Good evening. My name is Ryan Bingham. This is my speech number 2, the informative speech. I'm going to tell you how to evaluate a beer. After listening to my speech, the audience will have a better understanding on how to evaluate a beer based on appearance, smell, mouthfeel, and taste. One thing I will never understand is, as much as Southerners pride themselves on loving great food and loving to party and loving to drink, they will never, or they haven't, grasped the whole craft beer movement. The craft beer movement is very real, and a brewery is moving to a southern city near you, whether you like it or not. According to the Brewers Association, as of September 28, 2015, the United States had reached 4,000 breweries. That is only 131 shy of 1873's historical high. Having so many breweries and awesome craft beers available to people today, it can be a little tough to keep up with what styles you like and what styles you do not like. Today I want to be able to tell you how to evaluate a craft beer so that you'll gain knowledge on styles you may or may not like. Evaluating beer, as geeky as it may seem, can be a lot of fun and a great way to spend an evening with friends. I'm going to go over on how to evaluate a beer based on appearance, smell, taste, and mouthfeel. I will begin telling you how to judge a beer based on appearance. During research, I found craftbeeracademy.com states that the most important thing about judging a beer on its appearance is pouring it into the proper glassware. You can't judge a beer properly if it's poured into a red Solo cup. When the beer is poured into the proper glassware, you then look at the head and the head retention. You then look at what color the head is. Is it creamy? Is it caramel colored? Is it white? Is it off-white? Is it mocha colored? A beer poured properly should have about a 1-inch head, and the beer should retain some head to the very last sip. The last thing to look at when critiquing a beer is the color and clarity. At no point does the color of a beer indicate how it will taste. Time after time, people order beers, and the first thing they say is that they do not want a dark beer, which in reality, there are plenty of dark beers that are very light, very crisp, and that you can drink more than one of, and that won't put you to sleep, like a lot of people think dark beers will. The style of a beer is what indicates flavor, not color. There is no right or wrong. Depending on the style, there should be some clarity, but there is no good or bad when it comes to clarity. Now that we have talked about the appearance of a beer, we will now talk about the smell of a beer. When it comes to judging the smell of a beer, there is no right or wrong in that either. Everyone smells something differently. And those aromas that you are smelling are put off by hops and malts. My favorite thing in the whole world, hops, is where you get your really refreshing and beautiful aromas from. During research, I found that BeerAdvocate.com, one of the world's most credible beer nerd organizations out there, said that there are 31 different types of hops, and the list is still growing. Hop aromas may be described as spicy, grassy, earthy, floral, piney, citrusy, and sometimes a little cheesy. Malt aromas are a lot different. The more maltier a beer is, the more perfumey sweet to rich and caramel-like. Depending on how dark the beer is, the malt will give off a roasty, toasty, and chocolate aromas will be given off by malts. Now that we have talked about the smell of a beer, we will now focus on my favorite part, how to judge the mouthfeel and the taste of a beer. The obvious thing to do next is to take a nice big sip of the beer. Let it rest in your mouth for a little bit and get a good feel for it. How does it taste? Does it taste like pine trees? Does it taste like caramel? Does it taste like grapefruit? Are you getting any banana or clove? Is it fruity? Is it fruity, or does it taste like black coffee? Tasting a beer is by far the most fun in evaluating a beer, and every palate is different. Some people may taste one thing, while the others taste another. Beer is an acquired taste. Some people, you're not born out of the womb enjoying coffee. You have to try and like these things and give it a chance. Different beers have different mouthfeels. Some beers will finish very dry and with high carbonation, while others will finish, other beers will have very low carbonation and linger around for a while. My personal favorite style is the IPA. IPAs are typically very citrusy, crisp, and have an exceptionally dry finish, and I can drink several of them. Now that I've told you a little bit about evaluating a beer, go geek out and drink some beer with your friends. That is only if you are 21 or older and you have a sober driver. Just remember to first assess the appearance of the beer. Make sure that it is in the proper glassware, because nobody wants to drink a $10 Trappist beer out of a solo cup. After you assess the appearance, take in a nice big sniff of the heady brew. Most people will be surprised at how great some of these beers can smell. Again, IPAs, they smell very beautiful. It doesn't matter what type of beer drinker you are. Smelling the beer is one of my favorite parts, other than drinking them. The last thing you do is drink up, talk about how it feels on your tongue, and also the flavors for that particular style. You should now have the necessary information to get started with evaluating the beer based on the appearance, smell, and taste and mouthfeel. While you're drinking and evaluating the beer, just remember to do it very responsibly, and also remember to support your local brewery. Thank you.